So guys, we've come to the end of the line on our cheap hybrid Crosstrek video series. In the last video, we did the valve body replacement. In the first video, we talked about everything wrong with this cheap hybrid and how much it cost me. And in today's video, we're gonna put a bow on it, end it out with the last few things we need to do, which is install our tonneau cover for the rear cargo area, replace our boot for our parking brake, put a rear seat back protector on it, and replace our popping and cracking, creaking right front CV axle. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video and finish up the repairs on the cheap Crosstrek hybrid. Oh, and also we're gonna do a breakdown of everything I've spent on the car, how much I paid for it, and a grand total at the end. So guys, once again, here are all the parts we've got, our last of our order from SubaruPartsDeals.com. We got the tonneau cover, the rear cargo cover, the roll cover. We got a seat back protector, all-weather seat back protector. We got our CV axle for the right front that was popping and making noise. And we got a new parking brake handle boot because ours was really tattered, torn up, and just looking raggedy. So let's go ahead and get the accessories on first because it'll be easier, and then finish up by knocking out the CV axle. So guys, here's what I was talking about that parking brake boot. It is really tattered, torn up, and dirty. Here is our brand new one straight from Subaru. That's a 92123FG011WJ. Pretty much just snaps on and off, so let's go ahead and get to it. So fairly simple replacement. You've got a couple clips on the bottom here, and then it just slides over the parking brake handle. So, you know, not too much muss or fuss about breaking the old one because, you know, it's pretty much tattered and torn up already. But all we really got to do is get a little pocket pry bar here, get under the edge of it, pry it up, get those little clips loose. Once we got that loose, we pull it up like so. And we just got to slide her up over the handle. Just like so. Get our new boot in here. Slide that back down in place. And line up our clips and clip them back down. And we got it all pushed down on the handle. And we'll clip our clips in. And we're all set and done. Easy as that. On to the next project. Next on the list, we'll tackle the rear seat back protector, which is a J501 SFJ600. All right, guys, so we've got the seat back protector unpacked. We've got our 6 little push pins here. Now we need to take our trim tool and pop up all of these little buttons. I had one missing back here, but we'll get all these popped up real quick. And once they are, we will lay the seat back protector across here. Also, you want to take your headrest off first. All right, once you've got it on here straight and you got all of your holes aligned, you can go ahead and start putting your little push pins in. And if you note, there are 2 places that don't have a hole. What you're going to do there is take a Phillips head screwdriver or a punch and knock a hole in there so you can put your push pins in. So we'll just go through and put our push pins in the holes that are already there, and then we'll knock those holes. All right, so we've gone through and knocked our hole, and we can put our last 2 little push pins in here. So now those 2 extra push pins are in, we're gonna take our bungees and wrap it around where the headrests go in, just around the little feet. And once we have that done, we can go ahead and pop our seat back up and put our headrest back in. And our rear seat back protector is installed. Now on to our rear cargo cover or tonneau cover. It's a 65550FJ021VH. Let's line up in the holes, just like so. Snug, pull, clip in, and our tonneau cover is installed. Now to get to that CV axle and finish up the car. Check out SubaruPartsDeals.com, your online retailer for genuine Subaru parts. Easy to navigate website. You can search by model, year, and trim, or you can simply type in your VIN number to easily find the parts you need for your Subaru. or you can shoot them a call or an email, and their staff will be glad to help you figure out what parts you need for your DIY Subaru repair projects. As a big thanks to you viewers, SubaruPartsDeals.com has offered up a promo code Mr. Subaru in all caps, good for 15% off shipping of your order. SubaruPartsDeals.com, a Subaru genuine certified seller of parts for your Subaru vehicle. Anytime you get ready to do any repair on your Subaru, check them out, price them out. They got some of the best prices out there on Subaru genuine parts. All right, guys, let's knock this axle out and be done. Hopefully the lower ball joint comes loose pretty easily. Hopefully I'll be able to get this car up to the Subaru dealership in the morning and get the front end aligned because it is pulling a little bit. Let's see if the old M18 stubby will knock this CV axle loose, or this nut loose. Sometimes it'll do it, sometimes it won't. We got a fully charged 3/4 charged. Let's see if we can get her. Hey, look at there, we got her to come off of there. Just took a little bit of rattling. Hopefully our axle isn't seizing the hub, and it is not. It is nice and free. Now the trick is, can we get the 14mm pinch bolt out of the ball joint, and when we get the ball joint out of the spindle without a giant headache. So let's see if we can get that 14 out of there without snapping it. Little forward, little back, little forward, little back, and we got her out of there. And she is nice and rusted up, so we will be putting a new pinch bolt in there because that one is really nasty looking, and the threads are kind of eat up, rusted away. So we're gonna chance that. We got a whole bag full of brand new ones, so we'll put a new one in it. So now the trick is, will that ball joint come out of there willingly and easily? Before we do that, we might as well knock that ABS wheel speed sensor out just in case there's any issues, but I've never had an issue with leaving one in and pulling an axle out. But I don't want this to be my first uh-oh, so go ahead and get this knocked out of here. All right, let's see how much of a fight this ball joint's gonna put up. And it came out really easily. Kind of shocking. But we got it out of there. Gotta look at it, make sure it's not messed up. Looks like the boot might be torn. I think I got some extra ball joints in here, so if we need to, we'll put one in it. All right, guys, got that knocked out of there. The ball joint seems to be all right. The wheel bearing seems to be nice and quiet. Got that pulled out, got the end of the axle out, so now we'll just shimmy under there and put a pry bar on the lip of the front differential right under the axle and pry with that pry bar and pop it right out of there. We've done this many times in the past. This is not gonna be a super in-depth video. This is more of an overview. I have plenty of other in-depth videos on CV axle replacement on these vehicles for those of you that need a little bit better shot. It's a little cramped in here and it's a little rainy out, if you couldn't tell, and I'm ready to be done. So I'm gonna shimmy my big butt up under here and get after it. Now, of course, it's a little cramped because this one's got the exhaust running down, of course, on this side where we need to pry the axle out, but we should be able to get in here and get at it without issue. Looks like we're nice and dry under here too, so we won't be needing to put an axle seal in while we're doing this CV axle, so less work there. Woo, that thing rocketed out of there. That's not exactly what you want to happen. You want to pop it loose from the circlip and gently get her out of there, as you don't want to mess up that axle seal as I just spoke about. But she kind of rocketed out of there, so let's get it out of here while it's leaking some differential gear oil. We'll compare it to the new axle and get the new axle ready to go in. We'll also get in there and inspect that axle seal, make sure we didn't mess up the lip of that seal. And our new axle part number is a 28321FJ020. All right, so we lucked up and didn't mess up our axle seal. Looks like it's all good all the way around. Don't see any tears or anything. We got the end of the axle lubed up with a little bit of gear oil, help it slide up in the front differential a little better. This is an odd one for me that we have a black factory Subaru axle instead of green. Normally Subaru axles are green. This is an NTN made in Japan. And I'll grab you the part number here in a little bit as soon as I get this stabbed into the front differential. So go ahead and try to snake it on around. See if I can do this without having to crawl up under there. Carefully guide it in around that seal. There we go. A little bit of bellow action from the CV axle. Normally you can get it to pop right in there, so we're good. We're seated. We'll go ahead and see if we can't swing this strut assembly and get that axle started in the hub. Go ahead and move our brakes back around out of the way. There we go. Now the hard part is getting this ball joint back on the end of the strut. I say that, but sometimes you can just put your foot in there and make something happen. And our ball joint seated. So we'll go ahead and get our new ball joint pinch bolt here. That's a 901000060 and a new CV axle nut because it's a one-time use. That's a 902170049. So go ahead and get that installed and torque the spec. All right, let's seat this ball joint all the way. That should get her. We'll go ahead and run our new pinch bolt in there. And we'll torque it to 50 Newton meters. And all good. All right, now what we got to do is put our new CV axle nut on there and torque to 220 Newton meters and stake it in place. All right, guys, we got 220 Newton meters set on the torque wrench. And set. All we got to do is stake that and put a wheel on. So we'll throw our wheel back on and torque our lugs to 120 Newton meters. So guys, that's pretty much it for this cheap Subaru Crosstrek Hybrid project series. Only 3 videos out of it. We basically got everything addressed. Everything is working as it should. No real issues. I mean, we did have the issue with the small cam carrier leak from the Subaru dealership doing a poor engine reseal, but we're not really going to worry about that. And, you know, everything seems to be good. No check engine light, no issues. Going to go ahead and get it aligned in the morning. I think that's about $100. So let's do a cost breakdown real quick. So we paid $2,900 for the car. I got a grill for $30 shipping. A subscriber was nice enough to send it to me as long as I covered shipping. I went ahead and got a correct steering wheel for the car. I had some fitment issues with the VASTI wheel. It worked, but it didn't work good enough for me. So I found a wheel for $50 shipped on eBay. And then our order to SubaruPartsDeals.com was about $1,586, somewhere in that neighborhood, and that was for our valve body, for our axle, our inner fender liner over here, all of the accessories we put on the car, etc. And that brings us to a grand total of $4,566.93. We'll make that $4,666.93 with that $100 alignment in there. So under $5,000 for a good hybrid Crosstrek. I think we did pretty good on this. I don't think we got really hurt. 198,000 miles. We do need to change the oil, as you see that orange canister of Def-Fram oil filter on there. But other than that, I think we're good to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one.